Should probably start getting more specific with these things. Maybe the pokies, the baboons. Okay, so today I'm going to do a video on personally one of my favorites, the baboons. They're from Africa. Baboons are specifically to Africa. They're called baboons because their legs apparently are said to look like baboon fingers. They're very feisty. They love throwing up the threat postures every chance they get. They have big appetites and they get pretty big, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. That being said, come check out some of mine. These are actually my favorites. I got, I think, 8 right now, and 2 of which are actually communal, or they have the option to be communal. I only personally have 1 communal tank right now, and it's my Trinidad Olives. That's enough about that. Here's some of my baboons. Alright, now just for a size comparison, what I did was I went and I cut out some circles out of some cardboard that I had lying around the house. Now this is 7.5 inches. That's going to be the biggest one that I have. Then goes 7, 6, and 5. I just cut these circles out so you guys can kind of get an idea of what they're going to look like once they're fully grown, or what they can look like. These are their max sizes, so keep that kind of in mind. And most of them are more in the 5-inch area, except for like the King Baboon and the Mvalphori, and well, you'll see. First one out of these are going to be my Mvalphori. It's going to get about up to 7 inches, which, as you can see, it's nowhere near that right now, but it's a decent size compared to my hand. All right. First spider I'm going to show you is my Mvalphori. The females can live up to 14 years. It's a terrestrial spider. It has a very slow growth rate for it living up to 14 years. This is actually one of my communal species. I only do have 2. The males happen to have a dark blue carapace on it. This, being that it's really tan, is going to be a female. That's going to be a big spider. Here's the Tanzanian Black and Tan. It's an arboreal tarantula from Tanzania, clearly. It's going to be in Africa. This one has some pretty significant venom. When it bites you, you're going to feel it, and you're going to be feeling it for a long time. It's got a fast growth rate for only getting up to 5 inches. Which you can see right here. The females can live up to 12 years. The males, they only live about 4 or 5. Let's get this one back in its home. Well, this one's a king baboon. This one's going to get to a walloping 7.5 inches. Alright. No, it doesn't look like much right now. This guy's going to get big. He's going to get real big. Okay. This is a mainly Fussorial Tarantula found in Eastern Africa. It has some pretty bad venom, especially for the size of it. It's got a real fast growth rate, so I'm hoping that it'll reach this size pretty fast.
Money gone, fuck friends. I need a homie that know me when all these motherfucking cops be on me. I got problems, ain't nobody calling back. Now what the fuck is happening with my ball and cap? Remember me, I'm your homie that was down the brawl, sipping Hennessy, hanging with the clowns and all. We used to do is drink brew, screw, and come and do. We had bitches by the dozens. We fucking cousins. You can throw your middle finger if you feel me low. A nigga just got paid and we still was broke. It took time, but finally the cash was mine. All the rewards of a hustler stuck in the ground. Look around, and all I see is snakes and fakes, just like scavengers waiting to take a hustler's pay. And when you stuck.
Alright. So just for a little size comparison, as I've been doing. 5-incher again. This is, as you've guessed, it's the golden blue leg baboon. This one gets to only 5 inches. Alright. It's a Fussorial Tarantula from South Africa. It has some pretty significant venom. You do not want to get bit by this one. It's got a medium growth rate, average, you know. The colors really pop in it, and that's what makes me feel like this one is probably a male. It's got really, really bright blue legs. The males only live for about 3 years, which is pretty low, especially for the baboons. They all go for about 4 to 8. So this one being 3, definitely one of the lower ones.
Express through song, delete stress like no trend, then extend strong. I drink my wet with Medusa, give us shotguns in hell. From the split that I lived in hell, it ain't hard to tell. Look who the monks in your trunk, turn the bass up. Not stories by Aesop, place your loot up, parties I shoot up. Nas and analyze, drop a jewel, inhale from the L, school of full well. You feel it like Braille, it ain't hard to tell. I kick a skill like Shaquille holds a pill. Vocabulary spills, I'm ill. Plasmatic, I freak beat, slam it like Iron Sheik. Jam like a tech with correct techniques. So analyze me, surprise me, but can't magnetize me. Scanning while you're planning ways to sabotage me. I'll leave them froze like heroin in your nose. Nas, I rock well, it ain't hard to tell.
This tarantula is a piece of crap. This is my OBT, and it likes to run. It likes to bite. It likes to threat pose. It likes to pound the ground. It likes to web a lot. It likes to have a beautiful color. It likes to have a very good appetite, and I love to feed it. And it's so tiny. I cannot wait until it gets 5 to 5.5 inches. That being said, welcome to my OBT. My orange bitey thing, or the orange baboon tarantula, also known as the orange bitch. I just cannot get over the colors on this thing. I love it. It is so orange. Cannot wait till this big fuzzy jerk gets huge. The OBT is a terrestrial tarantula from Africa, of course. It has pretty significant venom. You're going to feel it, and it definitely wants to bite you. This wants to bite you. I'm not going to stress that enough. It wants to bite you. It has a real slow growth rate, but that's okay because the females live up to 15 years, and I got the time to wait for that. The males, however, like most baboons, only live for 4. Let's get this one back in its home. You're a jerk. One of the venom fuckers ran on me.
I was overdue. I'm a pink Molly. I can barely move. Ask about me. I'm gonna bust a move. Red James, 33 chains, Ocean now, cruising Biscayne, yeah, top of God, that's a liability, hit the gas, boosting my adrenaline, big fine, Percocet, yeah, Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet, represent, yeah, gotta represent, chase a chick, never chase a bitch, chase no bitch. Mask on, fuck your mask on, mask on, fuck your mask on.
This right here, this little guy, this tiny little guy is going to get up to 5 inches, which is what you see right here. He is the Togo Starburst tarantula. He's an arboreal tarantula from Western Africa with a very strong venom. He has a pretty slow growth rate. Not that it's a he or a she, it's way too small to sex just yet. But the females do live to 15 years, where the males only live for 4. I didn't realize the camera wasn't on when I just did that, because the light was still on. But sometimes you gotta go back for the homie even when he's a jerk. You and the OBT are the only bolters. So what we have here is my sea darlingy. The rear horn, it's gonna get up to 5 inches. Still a pretty impressive size for any spider. Fussorial Tarantula from Southern Africa. It's got a very powerful bite, alright? The venom it's pretty damn potent, alright? It's got a medium growth rate. Females live for about 15 years, whereas the male lives for the average 4. Fingers crossed that this one does not bolt like the rest as we get it back home. The Cameroon Red Baboon. Doesn't look like much now, real small, just like the rest of my slings. But this little guy is going to get up to be 6 inches. Pretty impressive. The Cameroon Red Baboon is my other communal baboon that I do have. It is my only one, so I don't have a communal tank set up for it yet. This one's venom is very specific because it's been known to have actual side effects in regards to your health. Meaning not just the bite feels like that of a wasp sting, but also you're going to get nauseous, you could puke, you're going to be feeling really sick to your stomach and dizzy. It's not going to be a good time. It's got a medium growth rate like most tarantulas. The females can live up to 12 years and the males only live for 3. So fingers crossed on this one being a female. But let's get it back. It's home. Now I know this container is a little big, and I'm aware of that because I plan on making this communal tank. So there's going to be quite a few in here. I actually have another communal tank the same size as this. It's got 4 in it currently, and they're doing great. So I'm going to see how these do.
I've been moving real gangster, so that shit make a crit. Shawty call me Chris Cool, cause I'm popping my shit. Got it out the mud. There's nothing you can tell me. Yeah. When I had a job, South Street wealthy. Yeah, I had the coupe in the lot. 20 for 12 for SWAT. Buzzing all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put the stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn deal. I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo.
So some of them ran. I checked them, they were right. They didn't really fall too much. They're slings, so they're really bolty. I do normally have another container that I would have them in, like a 10-gallon fish tank. But that's actually in use for another project that I have going on right now, which I can't show you just yet, but you'll see. I also have another secret project going on right here behind me, and you'll see about that one too. But yeah, those are my baboons. They live up to their name. They're bolty. They're fast. They're mean. I got some threat poses. I had a couple runners. I had some that were just happy to be back home because they want to be in their substrate and in their webs. That's where they're comfortable. And even though these containers are nice and clean and clear, that's not what they like, even though that's what we like. So, until next time, guys, like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
My baboons.